of weeks ago, I did a studio update and I didn't ever publish it because I had so much painting to do. So the good news is I'm going to put together the one that I did a couple of weeks ago, and then I can show you what's been happening since, and all those paintings I've been talking about, I can talk about how they progressed. So I'm gonna do, it was Scooby-Doo, wasn't it, when they did that a couple of weeks later. I wonder if I can find a filter that does that. Anyway. 2 weeks ago, this is what happened. We are in my studio. Quite a few things have changed. So I'll talk you through what's going on at the moment. Quite a lot. I need to send some pictures to Marine House for Battersea. So what's interesting about that is Battersea is at the beginning, is it at the beginning of August? Hang on a minute, I'll just check and I'll pop it. And you have to book a half-an-hour slot, and those are from, I was talking to Julia, who's the gallery manager at Marine House, and those are getting booked up quite quickly. There's also Fresh Art Fair, and I'll just ping the date here. For Fresh Art Fair, and that's lovely because Fresh Art Fair is local to me because it's in Cheltenham, hooray! And Paragon are representing me there. So I'm currently painting for them at the moment. So I'll flip you around and show you what I'm doing, but also I'll show you some of the things I'm thinking about artistically and creatively at the moment, because I know a lot of you really appreciate that too. So this piece here, you might recognise from my grid because I posted it over the weekend. And this is a river scene that I've sort of mainly made up. I saw this composition, and in fact I saw another composition for a river scene on the telly on Country File at the weekend. And I just really like the shape of this triangle. There's quite a few unresolved bits, but there's also bits I'm really pleased with, like these bits here because they look really watery. I need to make some of the trees stand out a little bit more. And there's something happening with the water here. There's actually like a waterfall section here, but it's not very clear, so I think I might have to just swap where the blues and the whites are. So that's quite interesting. I think that's a bit of a head scratcher today. So I thought I'd show you this, which is the drawing that goes alongside this painting. I need to take some notice of that little sketch there, because that is that bit there and it's not clearly defined enough yet, so it's not really telling the story of that river winding back through space. But you can see I've got sort of like, I wanted the shape of the water in there. What's really interesting that I didn't realise, can you see we've got that shape there? And look how that shape is also happening here. Sometimes you do these things and it's completely unconscious choices, but I'm leading to a shape from the distance on both of these paintings. There's another piece that I started and I was going to paint over, and then I did start painting over it, and then I did start rubbing back into it, and can you see how it looks quite misty? And actually looking through the camera I can see how reflective this bit looks too, which is quite nice. So I haven't done a lot to the bottom bit, I've just sort of added a bit of colour and a bit of texture, so I'll play with that today. So that's a play piece really, because I've not got huge plans for it. I've got a David Tress book on the floor because I love the energy in his work. I've got a Seascape Waiting. I think I might start that one today actually. This is part of the reason I haven't sent any pictures off to Marine House yet for Battersea, because I actually had a little bit of a play with this painting. So this painting will be available at Battersea. It was actually already framed. I decided to have a play with it. This piece here is a work in progress as well. It's got some lovely light in it, but it's unresolved. But this is for Singapore, so this is for later in the year. This is my favourite bit at the moment. I really love some of the colours going on here. I love all this speckling. This blue's very nice. I'm really happy with lots of parts of it, but it doesn't have enough, come on, focus. It doesn't have enough sort of key characteristics yet to really draw the viewers. So here we are, back to the current day, and I can show you what's been happening with those paintings. So I'll just flip you around. See that I have resolved this bit of painting here. There's actually very little of that green. I surprised myself by getting rid of it, that's left, and therefore the rocks are more defined. There's more pinks that have come in and some larger areas of colour that have less texture to them. So that painting is finished, and that will be exhibited with Paragon Gallery for the Fresh Art Fair in time lapse. This one, which I'll intersperse a little bit of that now. This is a muddy track we sometimes take. Cows have made it much worse recently, and I've just noticed that I've created that shape again, haven't I? But it's a little bit more defined in this one. I really wanted to get that impression of the light, and this has actually got quite different greens in it. Love that blue on the trees, and I quite like the raw areas of this painting as well that haven't been overworked. I think this has got a little bit more work to do, maybe in that tree line, but I'm just gonna hold fire so I don't overwork it. Particularly like this bit here, but this bit of foliage just sort of cut this tree in half. So I need to do something about that, because it's stopping the progress of the tree, and so it doesn't look like it's growing anymore. And then I was really interested in playing around with colour palettes with this particular painting, and also because I've been down to Beer twice actually in the last couple of weeks, one to deliver paintings, and I've just been down for 4 days, and I was really interested in the colour palettes I could see down there. So what might be interesting is for you to see this as well. I've been playing around with these colour aid cards quite a lot, as well as my colour wheel. It's quite nice to have these up while I'm painting. This is for a different painting. You can see the colour palette's not quite the same. And then I've got 2 paintings to do this week, again for Fresh Art Fair. So this one here is for Fresh Art Fair for Paragon Gallery. So is this one. So is this one. Not quite sure what it's going to be yet. I've got to do some planning. And so is this one. This is going to be a seascape. This is going to be some type of woodland. There's a beautiful bit that I've been meaning to paint for ages that's on our walk, where you walk through the trees and then you're coming out like a lovely little aperture, a little opening. Oh, and then there was this painting here that actually, let's get you into the light, that has remained unresolved. So I do quite like the colour palette, but I was just looking back through the video I did before, and I had some real acid green here, and I've gotten rid of it, and I'm looking for a punctuation point with this painting, and I think I've actually gotten rid of it. I think I should have a line of bright green here that I don't have in. It's difficult to see when you've got another painting behind it. But you can see that colour palette is tonally, it's much lighter. But I actually think that this painting is more finished than I realised. I think looking through the lens has helped with that. And then this is painting for Singapore, for Marine House. It's unfinished, but that's okay because I've got a bit of an early start on it. So that just sort of like needs to sit there biding its time until I can find some time to get back to it. So a longer one today, hope that's okay. Oh, one last thing to show you I'm so excited about. I now have running water in my studio. 6 months it's taken me to get that organised. It's COVID's fault. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, no more schlepping water in a bowl out to my studio. How cool is that? Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and I hope you found this useful. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.